For many businesses, the best place to hold that important decision-making meeting is at a local hotel. Many places now offer extensive facilities with overnight stays, catering and audio-visual packages thrown in. The success of that meeting or conference can be ruined, though, if a venue is badly maintained, staff not friendly or badly trained, and security is lacking. Well, how are we doing here in the UAE? Well, with us on Inside Business today is Hans Kanold, who is CEO of Safehotels. Thanks a lot for coming in today, Hans. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Why was there a need to launch Safehotels?
Actually, I'm from the hotel trade myself, and 10 years ago I realized that the hotel security standards differs a lot between different countries and even between different communities within the countries. And I had a lot of communication with travel managers and business travel agencies, and they actually demanded a uniform standard for hotel security, a kind of a global hotel security standard.
What kind of security is lacking, do you think, at the moment?
Some hotels do offer very good security, but some don't. And what's lacking is training, and equipment is installed, but the maintenance of the equipment sometimes lack. So we go into the hotel, we look at the documentation of the training and the different routines that are in place. We also look at the training routines, evacuation drills, fire drills and so forth. How do they maintain those training sessions?
I mean, is there currently a uniform worldwide certificate that hotels can get?
Safehotels, the global hotel security standard, is the first global hotel security standard that hotels can get. And it's quite interesting because we are getting a lot of attention from travel managers because they have been demanding this for a long time.
How do we know if an establishment we're staying in or holding a conference at is safe and up to safety standards?
Today you don't know, actually. The only way you can find out is to ask the hotels themselves, and speaking in their own sake, it's a given that they say that yes, we do have our security standards in place and we follow the local government. But now and in the future, people will be able to find hotels that works appropriate with security by, for example, looking at safehotels.com or look for our signs which will be posted in different hotels.
Now, when there is trouble and there is a disaster, often we turn to members of staff to have been trained and to evacuate and to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is that lacking?
There are different kinds of training, certainly, and you also have to make sure that, especially in the hotel business where the turnover of staff is enormous in some occasions, that the training is done appropriately and it's done a couple of times per year even.
So you're talking about those drill situations where staff will be put through a situation where there could be an emergency that arises?
Definitely. You need to practice those emergency situations because they never look the same, and you have to also use the equipment, use the fire equipment, and you also have to be able to use the first aid equipment.
Are hotels, do you think, employing the correct level of security managers to monitor this?
At this point, I'm not convinced that they are doing that. And a lot of travel managers have discovered this within big companies because they have their own auditors traveling around the world now and talking to the hotel security managers, and some are good and some are not properly trained, actually.
Now, the laws in somewhere like Europe are currently very strict when it comes to hotels. How does the UAE fare and the Gulf region in general compared to Europe?
The laws in Europe, they are very strict, but they differ also. I mean, the law in Sweden looks different from the law in Portugal and England, and that's the problem that travel managers have discovered. So even though the law is strict, it's not the same. EU does not have a uniform law when it comes to hotel security, and that's what we would like to investigate also in this region. How does the law apply to good security standards when it comes to hotels?
Now, there is an up-and-coming hotel safety conference
Yes.
That you're organising. Tell us about that.
It's called the SMI Educational Forum, Security for the Hotel and Meeting Industry. And it's a forum where the security industry can meet and talk and network with the hotel industry. And there is a demand for knowledge within the hotel industry when it comes to security, but it's not their expertise at this moment. And we'd like to open up the communication between the hotels and the security. And it's sponsored and endorsed by the tourism department here in Dubai. So we will have government representatives, we will have from the hotel sector and from the security sector.
How can people come along to it?
They can actually register via our local partner Al Hamadi. So they can go on to the alhamadigroup.com to register.
Would you say then that the hotel safety has still got quite a long way to go?
Absolutely. It has a long way to go. Some hotels are ready, and the hotels that are ready would like to give a competitive advantage because they have invested in training and they have invested in their appropriate equipment. But I would say that 70–80% of the hotels have a long way to go.
Great. Well, Hans Kanold, CEO of Safehotels, many thanks again for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, there we are. That's it for this edition of Inside Business. You can contact the programme, as ever, by writing to ib@city7tv.com. For now, from all of us on the programme, goodbye, and we'll see you again soon.